Jojo went on Howie's podcast September 12th, which, I mean, it was a day late because this is Jojo's 9/11. She went on Howie's podcast to defend Colleen Ballinger, which is and I just love that Howie's the one that hosted this. Howie's become like, he's at the center of everything. He really is just a force to be reckoned with in the podcasting world and entertainment.
Is that the ukulele girl?
That's a good question. Yes, this is Ukulele Girl. So this is the Ukulele Girl. And then this is her friend Jojo, who went on Howie's podcast to defend her.
Jojo.
All right, Jojo Siwa on Howie. Let's take a listen.
And if I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about that?
I've known Colleen for.
Dude, Howie's such a tea hound. I love it. Like when I go in there, he's like, "Tell me about Trisha Paytas." Like he knows all the tea.
Does he want to start up?
Yeah, he does. He knows.
He's like Bob Eubanks on the Newlywed
Just
Game
like
when we were
Bob
kids.
Eubanks.
Just like Bob Eubanks.
Did the same thing when we were watching.
What's your favorite place to have whoopee?
Yeah.
In the butt.
Oh.
That was one of the answers.
Was that one of the answers?
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it's classic.
Classic Newlywed Game.
It's very funny.
That's funny.
So yeah, Howie's really learning how to do this, man. How many views it got? 24,000?
What?
That's Tom
Really?
Ward's views right there.
I'm surprised it didn't do better.
Since I was 12. Red flag.
Let me
for
go
those
back
that-
because I cut the beginning. That's for you, love.
Thank you.
Let's
You're
just
welcome.
reset it up even.
Let's just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about that?
I've known Colleen for since I was 12.
So for those that don't
There's
know,
the problem,
Colleen
girl.
Yikes.
She's a victim too. 12? Man, I ain't befriending no damn 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't want to know you unless you're my kid.
How old was Colleen when she was 12?
Didn't we say 12-year-olds are the most dangerous people in the
We
world?
just said that.
How old was she when she was 12? That's a good question.
So she's 20 now, I'm seeing. And
8 years
Colleen.
ago. It's like old as shit. How was she, like 39?
If that's old,
So
I'm
Colleen would have been
ancient.
28.
I'm done then.
She was 28.
So almost a 30-year-old just chatting it up with 12-year-old.
I'm telling you, man, there is nothing to glean from a relationship with a 12-year-old as an adult. Nothing.
It's crazy.
You know?
In the middle of a kind of a...
It's tough.
Let me ask you this, Jojo. Did she make you put a tampon in your mouth and send a picture of it? Mm-hmm.
It's a
Colleen, what was the name of the character?
Miranda Singh.
I love how clueless Howie is. He doesn't have any idea what's happening, but he's still good.
He did pretty well with
agree.
the questions in this. I felt.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This sings. My other daughter went to all the concerts and everything, and she's getting accused of things.
Yes.
Which we don't have to talk about that she's accused of, but I would imagine if you're friends with her, you kind of met her when you were young.
I was 12 when I met her.
Howie's doing a good job. He's following the thread very well. He's good. He's getting good.
Her.
And-
She's always been nothing but kind to me. Her family, nothing but kind to me.
It's the "she was nice to me" defense. Love that. She's Ashton cushioning her self. Ashton Kutchering.
Ashton butchering her
She's
career, am I right?
Whatever happened to him?
He just put out a letter of defense for a twice convicted rapist.
He had everything, and what do you do? F everything up?
Ashton or the other guy?
Ashton, you're talking
No,
about.
Ashton Kutcher, the actor that was married
I mean,
to, what's her name?
Demi.
Demi Moore, yeah.
No, he's doing well. Did you know he was an angel investor in Uber?
No.
A lot of people don't know that about him.
I don't think Jimmy knows what an Uber is.
I take Ubers in New York all the time. I do know what it is.
There you go, wise guy.
Wise guy. So there. You sons of bitch.
You sons of bitches.
You
Stop it with the tomatoes,
You sons
Dak.
of bitch, Dak.
Why? Because I'm all... Never mind.
All right, let's continue.
I think it's really. This is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say.
This is awesome. She's like, I've been defending her. I'm going to defend her. I'm going to do it today on Howie Mandel podcast, How He Does Stuff. This is ground zero of my career right here, Jojo. Does Jojo have a career? I mean, I'm not super familiar with her work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What does she do?
Superstar to kids.
Yeah.
Super what?
Absolute superstar. Tours, does music.
What is she? Oh, she's a
She had a
musical
Nickelodeon
artist?
show.
So she actually is a
YouTube.
famous person.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
I mean,
famous
I
person.
know
She a
who.
dancer, a singer? What'd she do?
All the above.
Really?
Yes.
So how is she discovered? How did
Okay,
you-
so I actually watched her get famous because I watched Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, which is the first reality show she was on. She was like a competitive dancer. And then
Okay.
people liked her so much that she was brought onto Dance Moms as a regular.
Oh, okay.
And then-
So it was like a reality star turned
Yeah, star.
like Big Ed, but the opposite.
Yeah, the two biggest people coming out of Dance Moms were JoJo and Maddie
And
Ziegler.
Big Ed. See, I mean, again, I don't know much about her, but she always seemed nice and wholesome and all that.
I agree.
But this is obviously a little concerning. And we're going to let her talk. We are going to let her talk
Okay.
right now.
The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it. And
So obviously she's saying that something was said about Colleen that was just 100% a lie. And my question for her was, well, what's the lie? And I
Right.
guess because everything is pretty well documented at this point and very much so out there. And I guess the lie is what? That she's a groomer? Because I guess it's somewhat, because people argue about the definition of what's a groomer, you know?
Yeah, I guess if we're being charitable to the point she's trying to make, that because that's what Colleen said in the video, right?
I'm not a groomer,
that
I'm
was
just
their
a loser.
Yeah, right. She's just a loser, which that's not a crime. So
Being a loser is not a crime.
The only thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats.
Although sometimes,
Not a groomer. I'm
not
just
a loser. Right.
just a loser.
But losers do sometimes commit crimes.
Right, such as grooming. Most groomers are losers. They're not mutually exclusive, I think is the point.
Right.
all are.
Right.
So, like, she's pretty much, what's really crazy about this is she's like 100% dismissing everything. Like, she's not willing to acknowledge anything, despite the fact that they become besties when she was 12. 12! You hang out with 12-year-olds, aren't your kids?
Well, it's this Michael Jackson story reincarnated.
Right.
It's not hard to figure it out.
Right.
You just got to read between the lines on this.
I know Colleen very, very, very well. And I think
Red
the
flag.
work that Colleen has done for the internet.
This is like, I don't know what is going on in people's brains when they do this. It's literally what Ashton Kutcher did.
Kutcher.
What's his name?
Kusher.
Kusher? It's not Kusher.
Kushner.
It's got a weird
What's
T in
his
it.
name, Olive?
Kutcher.
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 Like butcher.
He goes, listen, I know Danny was convicted and found guilty of raping 2 people, but he was really nice to me. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, I know her and she's awesome.
She's
It's like,
defending her
okay.
because she likes her. That doesn't mean she didn't do it.
But it's so absurdly dumb
Yeah.
thing to say.
Yes.
To be honest, I mean, obviously the degrees of severity of the behavior that we're talking about are different
Yeah.
between the two. However, Ashton didn't like directly. He never questioned his guilt, right?
No. Well, he had already been found
'Cause
guilty.
Jojo's saying these are lies.
They're
So
lies.
That's like actually refuting the accusation. Ashton actually didn't do that. He just, like you said, oh, well, he was nice to me, though.
Right. True. So she's right. You're right. You're right.
But the degree of what's happened is obviously much more severe in Danny Masterson's case.
But it's so wild, then even more wild, that she's willing to be like, these people are liars.
Yeah,
They're all lying.
The fact that she's saying they're lying, she's in Colleen's circle. So it means that the discourse happening is
Right.
that they're all saying these are lies. When, like, literally, she has admitted at the very least to apologizing to Trisha
Admitting she's
Trisha
sending nudes.
Yes, she has admitted to that. So it's like, what exactly are you saying is a lie? Because we've had a lot of substantial evidence that
Well, what
you're
about like
refusing
the
to acknowledge
freaking
right now.
tampons in the mouth and all this weird shit?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
And I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character.
This is such an insane take.
It's really, I just think it's so funny because before it happened, she was like, let me just because I really just want to say my piece, and then proceeds to say literally nothing.
Let me pick my words as carefully as possible. Fuck the accusers. They're a bunch of liars.
Step on every
They're a
landmine
bunch of liars.
possible.
What was she talking about? Yeah. That she's just a comedian. And so she's trying to be like, I made everybody put tampons in their mouth for a group photo because it was funny. Mm-hmm. My brother was doing a gag when he was trying to hook up with a 12-year-old.
That, I feel, it sounds like she's just narrowing down the possible controversy to like jokes Miranda would make on stage.
So what is then she referring to? Like the one where
probably the fart joke.
Fart joke.
The girl who she came up on stage and spread her legs.
I think that's probably what she's referring to, and then like just is not addressing.
But can we admit that was in poor taste? Like
that was
she's a comedian.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, every point Jojo is about to make is wrong, in my opinion. Just a fact.
Jojo's bizarre cancellation.
Nice.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
You steal that from someone?
And I think being a
No,
comedian.
right off the dome.
Nice.
Maybe I read it in chat yesterday.
I think I remember you saying it yesterday.
Yeah, I may have read it in chat yesterday. I don't remember.
Fell into my
Comedian
trap.
is.
I mean, I'm not trying to steal. I'm not trying
Fell
to
into my trap.
go back into y'all. Let's do credit where credit's due. Go back into the members live. Let's give full credit to whoever said that joke.
I'm gonna find it.
Scrub through the live.
very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know,
We've.
Go ahead.
I can't help but wonder if like she is subconsciously talking about like these children have now grown up and we realize it's wrong, because Miranda Sings happened entirely when Colleen was an adult. Colleen has always been old enough to know better, but Jojo's referencing the people who have been able to grow into the knowledge that Miranda is bad, but she's saying like we've all gotten older and like grown.
Hold on.
Like, she was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It struck me now. It was mega awesome nerd. I'm sorry, Olivia.
Oh, no,
King Wavery.
King Wavery. That was his joke.
Oh.
And also,
There you go.
Olivia, basically, I feel like this point could be made about some people, like Jimmy, for example. Back in the day, people didn't say anything. This was considered, socially acceptable. But you go back now and look back on some of the stuff, and then you want to judge them by the norms of today for something that happened 30 years ago. That is not one of these cases.
Right.
That is not it. Opening a girl's legs on stage was always kind of a bad thing, a bad, weird thing to do. Sorry, Avery. I owe you for that one.
Put me between your legs.
Thank you. Jojo, what else?
know what I mean?
But you, as somebody who's been in the public eye for a long time,
Yes.
do you think that it is appropriate to communicate openly with everybody that reaches out to you?
No.
Good question by Howie.
Hey,
He
okay, Hal.
First of all, it's a great follow-up question. He should have closed it up by saying, like, 12-year-olds. Specifically, is it normal to be chatting with kids? Having, like, an ongoing dialogue with children like that, you know?
No deal.
I
Let's see what you have to say about that, Jojo.
don't think that communicating with fans.
I love he's like, do you think it's normal for celebrities to stay in constant contact with their children fans? She's like, let me pick my words carefully.
Jojo.
Jojo.
You got to be careful to not
And that's what I'm saying,
to
like-
not blur a friend-fan line. It's very tough.
And here's my question to you. Regardless of judging whatever specifically is being said that
Yeah.
was happening, and I'm just saying this as a parent again. You said you started communicating with her when you were 12.
Yes.
Is that you want to
But
be a
you
parent?
guys were in the same
Yes,
industry.
Howard.
We were in
too.
the
Like,
same-
He's
He just hit it there.
he's a good interviewer, and this is something that I used to have a problem with when I started. It's like
Saying
he
the
can't
right thing to
close
say.
he can't close the deal. He's so close to being like, was it not appropriate that you as a 12-year-old were friends with her? He goes right up to saying it. You know what he's saying, but he doesn't drop the hammer. Do you know what I mean? Just
It's
say
a
it.
friendly interview, though.
But no, but just
you know?
it doesn't
I
have
don't
to be
know.
unfriendly, but just say it. Just say it. You know what I mean? So that they don't have any room to escape the question.
Joe.
But he did great. I'm not even trying to take anything away from Howie. He did great here. He really did.
You guys were making videos and stuff together,
So
right?
we actually met because on Dance Moms, do you know Tadra Hall?
Yes.
So on Dance Moms, Tadra Hall had a party and invited the Dance Moms cast, and
adult
four of the girls went, and they discluded myself and Nia, who is another girl on the show. And we all knew Todrick, so we were fine with that. But then Colleen, as Miranda, surprised the girls. And me and Nia were devastated because we were massive fans and we loved Colleen and we loved Miranda. And then when the episode came out, Colleen saw how upset me and Nia were. And she reached out to Holly and was like, I would love to like make this up to you guys. She was like, I was wondering where Jojo and Nia were. Like, I had no idea that this was the case. Like, please, like whatever you guys want. Like, I just want to make the kids happy. Like, I just want Jojo and Nia to not be sad anymore. And so we ended up going to dinner with Colleen, and it was me and my mom and Nia and Holly. And Colleen was telling me that night about YouTube and how her whole family did it and how it was awesome, and she vlogs her.
Oh yeah, what about her brother? He's pretty cool with YouTube. You want to chat with him? He's actually really cool. He loves chatting to kids. Let me hook you up with my brother. He's a really great person to just, lean on. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jojo.
Life. And that night is when I went home and I made my YouTube channel and decided that that was going to be my career, essentially. And
That's a wonderful, sweet, appropriate story.
yes.
How is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's...
Howie with another banger. Let's make her, let's get her on the record.
Like, have you talked to her?
There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation.
Okay, so she says people are getting hit with this cancellation. What is she saying? She's not being specific. What cancellation?
So at first I was like, maybe she means like overall internet insane cancellations, but I think she means like
Groomer.
individually people in the Ballinger troupe.
No, I think she's talking about
Shane, James
and
Charles.
James
Really?
Charles,
Yeah.
because they were all accused of being groomers.
Oh, you think that she's umbrellaing all
She's
of...
saying people are just accusing everyone of being groomers online.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
know
one of those
she's
things.
hung out with both of them, right?
Yeah.
James Charles
Okay.
and Shane.
But like she won't say it.
Yeah, she's close with like all of the Ballinger family. She would do videos with like the family
What about the
channel,
brother? How
with
close is she with the
Rachel, her
brother?
sister. Trent wasn't a content creator. I don't know if,
How
I'm sure
close
they
is
have
she with
met.
Trent?
She was that close. She was very, very close.
Joe.
With Trent?
No, with the Ballinger family. So I assume they met.
Bro, I gotta. Because he is like, we seen the DMs.
And a lot of them I know, some of them I don't know. And I look at it and I see that
Go on.
this is a sensitive subject.
Oh, what a good observation, Jojo.
That is, you know what? That's true.
Let me say this. I want to give this my full attention and word everything carefully. This is a very sensitive topic. So what I want to say is this. Them bitches be lying.
Yeah.
Literally. I don't understand the point of doing this in the first, because she must have
neither.
known that going on this show and going against literally the entire court of public opinion.
I think she's so sheltered, potentially, like she talks with people almost exclusively that are like, you're so right
Oh my God.
about Colleen. And so I think she maybe expected some people to get angry, but some people to be like, finally, somebody's saying it.
She needs to open Twitter.
I think she expected a little bit of that.
Somebody who is affected by any sort of anything having to do with adults, and I mean,
I think she knows she's fucked already. She's like, do we have a button? Can we go back?
Well, this
please?"
wasn't live. She could have easily
That's
asked for
true.
this.
It wasn't
Can we just take this
live.
out?
Yeah.
Did that ruin her career?
I doubt
it. Just happened.
It just
It just-
happened,
it
but
just
Just
looks
as
really
new,
dumb.
you don't know. It just makes her look bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it.
I
don't
think-
know
think-
anything about her career, frankly.
I think something should be said that we haven't said yet about the situation too. I guess we mentioned it a little bit at the beginning, but I mean, we don't know the extent of their relationship necessarily.
Yeah.
And Colleen started talking to her when she was 12. She's still very young. She may just feel an overwhelming loyalty to somebody that helped her career and everything, and hasn't yet processed the fact that that was kind of fucked up. Because you hear the cognitive dissonance coming out at certain points. She made the point, and it's just like, oh, maybe that isn't. How did she word it? She said this isn't appropriate for like adults to have relationships like kids, and that's when Howie was like, "Well, you talked to her when you were 12," and I don't think she's really fully processed that yet. It's like maybe that was kind of inappropriate.
You know what?
right?
She you're right. That is good to remember because you said she's only 20.
She's only 20 now.
She's only 20 now, and she was 12 when they met.
This girl's just 20.
She's only 20 years old.
How old's the girl, Colleen? That's the trouble.
Colleen now?
She's in her
She's like 36, 37.
36. She's
She's
old.
a lot older.
Yeah, quite a bit older.
Colleen's 36.
She's old as fuck.
Older than me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, maybe I'm being too harsh on her given her age. It's easy to forget because she's been on the internet for so damn long.
Right. And I mean, it's correct and fine to call out. I mean, that's crazy that she's saying that they're liars. Like that is a crazy thing to for her to throw out there. I don't disagree on that.
I think it's a good point to bear in mind. You're right.
It's
For real grooming, it's a very sensitive thing.
So then this is another thing I guess that people get caught
She
up
said
in.
real grooming.
They
So I think that
they
really
say-
exposes what she thinks. This is just
Exactly.
like
They're
it,
just all
it wasn't grooming in her opinion.
She's playing the semantical game where grooming is like, when you prepare a child to be essayed.
Right.
Which I mean,
That's what the brother was doing.
Which is what the brother was doing.
I mean, unquestionably so. Like maybe you can quibble if what Colleen did was grooming
100%.
or not, but like not with the brother.
No. And so, but like, okay, even if you don't want to use the word grooming, let's not use that word then. Let's talk about what she did do. It's just, we're being silly here. It's not about semantics.
You must have really young people reaching out to you now.
Well, she's 20.
I mean, I do, and
Not 30-something.
it's funny. Like I realized when I hit 18, I was like, oh, this is different now. Like,
wow. Good for you. I'm really happy that you were able to.
See,
She figured something out.
That's the
And
cognitive
Colleen was like
dissonance I was
way
talking
past
about.
18.
Right.
She had
She's
like,
learning as she goes, this girl. But she's still young.
right, she's
Right.
learning as she goes. That's
She's
a good
learning as
point.
she goes, but she's 20. She's impressionable and young. She's got a long way to go. She's not as smart as that Sebastian guy. As smart as
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
24 going on 90.
You make a good point, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's true.
because
Right.
you're
Joe.
you're young and you're dumb, and I was like, I need to be very careful about this.
Like I know, like
Well
her daughter's
said.
9.
yeah.
If she could right now, and she
Write
watches,
to you and talk to you like
as
she
good
would.
as she would,
You're right.
and
Yeah.
she would.
I feel that Howie's
very good
grooming me,
interviewer.
by the way.
No.
I'm 38. How old is Howie?
Yeah, but you've been on
You've
it longer than him, but he's very good with
It's an
his
age
questions. Yeah.
How old is Howie?
67.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like
Wow.
30
weird.
years older than me?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel I'm being groomed by Howie.
Wow.
Is that not funny?
You probably shouldn't joke about it when we're in the middle of a conversation about.
Maybe what I'm trying to do is just acknowledge the semantical silliness.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. I understand.
Yeah, thank you. Howie, I love you. You're not a groomer. Just to be clear about that.
Yeah.
Just a loser. No, you're not a loser either. We love you, Howie. We love you.
Hold on.
I'm the #1 Howie fan.
Howie is
Stop it,
how
dude.
old?
67.
Okay, now Jimmy is how old?
You know.
55, he said.
5'6".
Okay.
Or 56, yeah.
You know. I already
Show
told you.
us.
love to be your friend
Yeah.
and love to be online.
And I'm sure you want to reach out to your fans and be like, hey, and give that back to them since they're such big fans of you.
The difference with Colleen and I is we were once.
Yeah.
I became her friend, and she became my friend,
hear
and
that?
she became
Wait, no,
somebody.
sorry. Let me go back. What did she?
The thing about Colleen is she became my friend, and I became her friend.
Right. Even though I was way under 18,
Right.
but in her case, it was okay.
It's just like
I don't even
You know
want
what,
to go there.
Olivia? You know what I think? To just cut to the chase, they were buddies. What that woman did, she did. I don't think she did nothing to her, and she's just being nice because she likes her. I'm listening and watching. I think that's really all that is.
Now I'm gonna.
I don't think she's defending her. I just think she likes her. She's being nice because the girl was nicer when she was a kid.
Well, yeah.
When she was a kid, when she was 12. That's all. That's what it sounds
It's
like.
giving me like, and I know this is an extreme example. It's giving me.
Chili Willies, heebie-jeebies.
What was his name? The English guy?
Oh, Jimmy Savile.
give me more.
No.
Give me just a tiny bit more.
Provocateur, the right-wing provocateur.
Dr. Long John.
The guy he sells like Bibles on infomercials now. You know who I'm talking about.
Dr. Long John, the guy that limps.
Jimmy Savile.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, Milo.
Oh, Milo.
He was on when he went on Joe Rogan. Can I continue with this story or no?
This is probably a terrible comparison to make. I don't know exactly where you're going, but I have a very bad feeling.
Well, it's like a victim trying to rationalize what happened to them, essentially. I feel that she was subject to an inappropriate
I think
relationship.
the degrees of
very different.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very different.
Yeah, I should be careful about that.
But it's the
Well, what's annoying is that she's reducing, like saying that Colleen wasn't that bad. Okay, whatever. Maybe it wasn't the literal definition of grooming that we all use it for usually. But James Charles is the literal definition of
But
grooming.
he's just a predator.
And she's doing videos with him actively, right?
I mean, he's just a
so
predator.
what's her defense there?
You're talking about the
I
makeup
think
guy?
it's all
James Charles.
all of it falls. It's just like none of it can be defended. I feel like it's silly that she chose to go on this podcast. In my opinion.
Well,
I agree with that.
yeah.
She's right.
Well, I don't
Thank
think
you,
she
Jimmy. I
expects
see you.
Howie to hit her with
Olivia's
the
right.
fucking regular. Where were we?
You know, you're young and you're dumb, and I was like, I need to be very careful about this.
Like I know, like her daughter's 9.
Yeah.
If she could right now, and she
Write
watches
to you and talk to you like
all
she
that
would.
she would,
She
and,
would,
and
yeah.
she would love
Good
to be
point.
your friend
Yeah.
and love to be
Such a good point.
Yeah.
Such a good point. Because
He
the
says
kids, they
every-
idolize
Yeah.
the stars.
Yep.
And it's up to the adult to make sure
To
that
do it right.
there's a correct barrier there.
Yep.
online.
And I'm sure you want to reach out to your fans and be like, hey, and give that back to them since they're such big fans of you.
The difference with Colleen and I is we were once. I became her friend, and she became my friend, and she became somebody that I looked up to. She became somebody that I idolized. She became somebody that I was like, wow, this person is a hard worker. She's a.
But like, she's just being silly because it's like my friendship as a 12-year-old with this grown-ass woman was special. So,
I told you
like Michael
what I
Jackson,
said. Yeah.
special.
Now, she bonded with her when she was impressionable, young. The girl was nice to her, so that's how she feels. She has to stand by her. I'm not saying what she did's right, but she has to stand by her because she's loyal to her.
Problem is the internet
Joe.
was able to capitalize off of her cancellation, and they still are, and they still are continuing to. And it's,
Just because I'm making content doesn't mean it ain't true, girl.
Bingo.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You're learning from Howie.
That's it. From the best.
Well, it is
hurts
a
me to
scary. It's a scary place when you put yourself. It was one thing, you know. I came to television, which is totally different, and I'm new to the internet, and I kind of found it through the kids. But it is
Love you, Howie.
really. It's like a minefield.
It is.
All right, so there's that. Now there's some other complementary information here that we're going to talk about. Here's an album of Jojo and Ballinger through the years to get an idea of the scope of the relationship. So is this her when she was 12? How old is she?
I don't know
Very young,
if
clearly.
she was 12,
very
but
young.
she was very young in that photo.
I love Jojo Siwa, goodbye.
That was a video on Colleen's channel where she gave Jojo a makeover.
Who's that guy?
Wait, who's this guy?
That's Chris Ballinger, her brother who has the family channel.
Wait a minute, is that the one that you said
No,
he
no.
was the
That's a different.
pedophile?
That's why I asked because it looked
Different
like him,
brother.
but it's
The brother, but a different brother.
not the pedo guy. Yeah. Here they are, Dave and Buster's. Okay, having a good time, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, love
Playing
that place.
games.
They're doing silly videos
What is that?
together. Looks like a slime incident.
Slime
I
Cinema.
have a lot of those at my house these
I
days.
like that.
Theodore loves slime.
Beautiful, beautiful,
It's a ni-
What kid?
beautiful, beautiful.